Welcome to Indian Travels and Musings, where we take you on a journey through this ancient and magical land as we understand its culture, mysticism, and heritage.
It is a chilly morning towards the end of December when the otherwise hot and dry weather in Tamil Nadu becomes bearable. I'm in Thanjavur in India to see the Brihadeeswarar Temple. I knew that the early morning was the best time to get here. As I reached the temple, the grey mist of the morning was still around. I got out of the car, sighted the temple in the distance, imposing itself on the landscape. The thought of a hot filter coffee, which is the brew of the land, is kept for later. The complex is almost empty, but for a few women in green saris with crisp golden borders. They are well into their 60s and have a few wrinkles to show for their age. Their faces thought are resplendent, fresh and sparkling. They have the traditional red dot on their forehead. Milky white jasmine flowers are bunched neatly into the thinning hair buns, and they had a look of peace on their faces. A large part of the temple ground is laid in stone. So is the path that goes around the temple. The bare part has a well-maintained cover of green grass. The archaeological department that maintains this UNESCO heritage site has done a brilliant job. The lazy blue of the morning sky added to the sharp-edged silhouette of the structure. It has carvings from the square base to the tapering top. It is as if a few hundred artisans about 1,000 years ago had lost their minds and feverishly carved away to glory. All to a design, a definite pattern, and most likely under the careful eye of a master. The Brihadeeswarar Temple was the dream of King Raja Chola I, who ruled the Chola dynasty between 1003 and 1010 AD. It is a proud testament to the architectural and engineering skills of the Chola dynasty. The towering centerpiece, which rises almost 65 meters, has a single stone dome weighing around 80 tons perched on top. It is still a mystery as to how the dome was positioned there. A bunch of experts had once concluded that it would have to be dragged by elephants along a slope of almost 4 kilometers of mud and limestone. I walk up the stone stairs, still cool to the feet, and enter the sanctum. The inner sanctum has carvings of various forms. It is evident that artisans have been busy inside the temple too. Around the grounds are buildings with pillars lining the corridor. All of the walls and pillars are covered by words chiseled into stone. They tell a story of a long-lost world. One can imagine someone centuries ago scribbling into a rock face with a chisel. It must have required unlimited patience and a sense of obligation to the coming generations for one to stand there and write up a commentary about those days. In fact, the whole temple complex is like a book written in stone. The inscriptions on the walls and the pillars to the temple have details of how the temple was built. They record details of the rituals performed here and even the daily lives of the people who lived 1,000 years ago. I have a look around the whole complex, stunned and amazed by everything I see. It was time to go as it was getting warmer. Before I headed back to get to my car, I took another look at the temple. As my eyes swung away from the temple, I caught sight of the old ladies in green saris. 2 hours had taken their toll. The golden borders on the saris were crumpled. The faces were a bit drained. The flowers were starting to wilt and wither. However, the smiles and the glint in their eyes had got better. The glory of the past had helped, and the joy of the moment was evident. As I turned away towards the exit, I saw an army of kids, all in dark blue half-trousers and light blue shirts, walking in a row. Guided by teachers, they were on a trip of discovery. The smiles were already ear to ear, with no more space to go. With their teeth gleaming and their eyes sparkling, they filed in. They would learn soon about the wonders of a human effort from centuries and generations ago. History is always exciting, not much when it is about the wars. but more when it is about the infinite possibilities of human capability. As Benjamin Franklin was to say centuries later, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing about. The great Chola Raja Chola did exactly that. He wrote on the walls and built a temple which people still write about. Subscribe to our channel and our blog to read more about India and its glorious sights.